Welcome to the League of Women Voters Candidates Forum for the Massachusetts 10th Middlesex District Representative. The representative represents some wards and precincts in the three communities of Newton, Waltham, and Watertown.
My name is John Lawn, and I have served as state representative for the 10th Middlesex District since 2011. I am honored to have the privilege of contributing to the development and progress of our Commonwealth. From my first election, I've worked hard to be a strong voice for my district. I'm in my second term as chairman, and I've had the honor to serve as the House Chair of the Veterans and Federal Affairs Committee last term. In this term, I'm currently serving as the House Chair of the Joint Committee on Election Laws. COVID-19 has required us to adapt in a way that none of us could have anticipated, and I am proud to have been able to lead our state in the passage of a strong piece of legislation that will provide our citizens with many ways to safely, fairly, and securely exercise their vote this fall.
I'm Allison Leary. I'm a candidate for state rep to serve the people of Waltham, Watertown, and Newton. I'm currently a four-term Newton City Councilor, and I got elected back in 2013 because climate change kept me up at night, and I had two young children. I didn't see any effective action being taken at either the state or federal level, but I knew that I could be effective locally, and I have been. I'm really looking to expand my role and work hard for at the state level on issues that I deeply care about, including climate change, transportation, housing, and accountability and transparency at the State House.
With the president's efforts to suppress voting across the country, beyond voting by mail and early voting, what can you do to ensure every voter in the 10th Middlesex District has their votes counted?
Well, as you may know, I am the joint chair on the Committee on Election Laws. So I just passed sweeping legislation to provide safe and fair elections for all our constituents across Massachusetts this fall. We held a Zoom hearing that lasted for 5 hours and worked to pull together a bill so that every voice in Massachusetts could be heard.
I talk to people about the importance of just voting early, and if you're voting by mail, getting that mail-in ballot in as early as you can. I was a little disappointed that the chair of election laws did not allow ballots to be postmarked by September 1st. Rather, they have to be in the House by September 1st.
The 10th Middlesex District is truly diverse, both racially and economically. As a state representative, how would you work with these communities to address racial injustice in all aspects of constituents' lives?
It's really important to give people a voice at the table and to be present. And this means doing voter outreach. It means going into the communities. It means going to local organizations. Sometimes it means canvassing the neighborhoods, which I'm very adept at and have done quite a bit. So I'll do my best to make myself available for every meeting, make sure I'm responsive, make sure that I have a good website, and make sure that myself and my staff would be responding immediately to people that contact our office. That's really important.
Protecting our vulnerable population is a priority for me in my role as a state legislator. And many times, inaccurate information can be spread throughout the undocumented community, and then this can cause fear and may keep many of them from getting the help and safety. And a lot of them are women and children who are at risk. And it's important that we communicate regularly with them. And I recently held a forum in my district with women from the Latino community, District Attorney Marion Ryan and her staff, the Waltham police personnel, we had translators.
In view of the importance of climate change to Massachusetts and the United States, what are your thoughts about H4912, an act creating a 2050 roadmap to a clean and thriving Commonwealth?
Well, I do support it, and I think you probably have seen we just passed legislation last week creating a 2050 roadmap to a clean and thriving Commonwealth. The legislation increases support for our clean energy workforce development programs, improves access to renewable energy and energy-efficient programs for low-income communities, and requires the state to increase its use of renewable sources for electricity and needs.
I thought that was a wonderful step in the right direction. However, I think it falls short. The climate science, they're saying that we have about 10 years, maybe a little more, in order for us to reverse global warming trends and to get carbon neutral. So I think the roadmap really needs to have a goal well before 2050. I think we need to go back to the table and add more amendments that really get us to meet our goals.
The most housing insecure are those whose incomes are 50% or less of AMI. We know that private development through things like inclusionary zoning provides housing, but typically not for the most insecure. What have you done or will continue to do to help solve this problem?
Well, as a city councilor, I've always been very supportive of affordable housing. We recently approved an addition to our public housing for seniors. I've approved all of our large developments, including Northland, and coming up is Riverside, and around the corner from me, Riverdale, which will all have a significant amount of affordable housing. And as a member of the Zoning and Planning Committee, I'm committed to using zoning as a way for us to increase density where appropriate. And I also am in favor of the governor's housing choice bill, which would reduce the number of votes that you would need to get zoning change.
So what I'm doing specifically is I got money in the state budget to have land currently being used in our public housing development to be expanded. We have a problem in public housing where we have not built enough of public housing. They have not built any since the 1970s. So I got funding in our state budget to work on an issue where we have in public housing where it's called overhousing, where families grow up in public housing in a two or three building unit house. And now their kids have moved on. It may be a single person or a couple, and they're in a 3-bedroom unit. We need to build more 1-bedroom units and low-income housing so that we can transition more people into those 1-bedroom units and free up more family housing.
The primary election will be held on Tuesday, September 1st.